Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. Today I want to talk to y'all about a product that we've got here. You know, here at Deep South Homestead, we're always interested in what goes on around our property and what's transpiring out at the driveway, because the driveway is kind of long. We just want to make sure that if someone should come down our driveway, since we have a YouTube channel, we get a lot of UPS trucks coming in and out of here. We have a lot of visitors. People call and want to come for a visit and stuff like that. So we've decided, rather than not being prepared when someone shows up, we've decided on this product made by Guardline. Now, this is a wireless alarm system. It is a long-range wireless alarm system. It's a driveway alarm system, but now it can be used for more than just a driveway alarm system. We're going to be using it for multiple things here on the property, but our main interest right now is a driveway alarm system that helps us to monitor who's at the end of our driveway. If they happen to be open the gates to come in or something like it, it notifies us, because we leave our gates closed all the time. It's not because of fear or anything like that. The reason we leave our gates closed is because we have animals, and we've had some of them to get out of the pen every so often. And with the gates closed, what that does is it leaves the entire perimeter of our property completely encompassed in fencing and gates, so that the animal doesn't get out of our property and get onto the roads or onto another neighbor's property and do damage or something like that. So when people come in, they open the gate to come in and out, and what that does is lots of times we don't know when someone's headed down our driveway. So with this alarm system, it will notify us as to when someone's at our driveway up there, and that would make it where when we hear it, we automatically get up and go out to greet them. We don't have to wait till they're on the porch and knocking on the door. There's not that sudden shock of someone just being there. It makes it a more friendly environment when you're notified ahead of time. It's like the UPS guy. A lot of times we get large packages in from things that we order, and it's a lot nicer if we can just walk out to the truck and meet him, and he can just set it out right there, and we can take the tractor or something and bring it on up to the house, or if we have to get a dolly and bring it to the house. The UPS guys really appreciate that. So what we're going to do here, now this wireless alarm system that's made by Guardline is good up to 1/4 mile, it says. So that is really a plus, because there's lots of them out there on the market that's only good for just like a few hundred feet. And that's something that we really took into consideration, was the distance that this thing would reach. Now, we're probably going to be setting up extra sensors, because not only are we going to use it for the driveway, we're also going to use it to monitor the wildlife, like deer coming into the gardens and stuff like that. We're going to be using it for several different things here on the homestead, different sensors that we're going to be putting out. But we're not going to be showing all those sensors. Really, this video right now is just going to be about the driveway, but we wanted to make note that if you wanted to put one at your garden, you could do that and set it at the right height and put the right ringtone on it, so that if an animal came in your garden during the night, it would notify you. And this would be an excellent product for homesteaders who's trying to protect their crops or their gardens from wildlife, because it would let you know at any moment that if a deer or a wild hog or there's a dog trampling down, coyotes, foxes, coming toward the chicken house, you can set these things up to monitor all those things, also give you notification that they're taking place. You could actually put one on the outside of your chicken house if you wanted to, and in the event that something tried to go around the side of the chicken pen and come in, it would notify you. This past couple of years ago, we had that happen here. If we'd had something to notify us, we would have known that there was a coyote out trying to get in our chicken pen. But we're not going to be really focusing on that point today. We're going to more focus on the driveway. Now, it's very easy to install, it says. When you order one of these boxes of Guardline products here. Now this has the monitoring system in it that goes inside the house that notifies you and all that kind of stuff, and then you can order extra sensors. Now one comes with a box, but we also went ahead and got an extra one to put up in an undisclosed location because, you know, I'm on YouTube, guys, and somebody wants to come in my driveway, they're already knowing that they're going to be checked. So if they was to try to go around it, because it's pretty visible, then we also are going to be using the second one in an undisclosed location, just in case, you know, the world's full of people who do things like that. It's for safety reasons. And but we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to see what's in the boxes. We're going to look at it, and we're going to see how we put it together and how we make it function. Okay, guys, I'm sitting back down in the chair. I've readjusted the camera so we can actually look at the box here, and we can actually go into this thing and see what's in it. Now this is my first time opening it, so y'all will probably see what I see when I'm opening it up. Comes packaged very well. I can see that. Oh, maybe I have it upside down. There we go. Okay, I want y'all to be able to see exactly what I see when I open it, so that you'll know if you decide to order this, you'll see exactly the same thing. It says you must validate your warranty. There is a book here that explains all about it and how you set it up and how you hook it up. Okay, there's another paper here. It's called a Quickstart guide. It gives you the little information you need to know here about getting it set up pretty quick. We're going to take this out of the box here so we can see what's in this other box. Okay, this one has the Guardline monitoring system in it. We're going to set that over to the side. Kind of give you a little bit of a look here to see what that looks like. From the looks of it, it's where you actually sync everything together, the sensors and all. There's like 4 zones here, and each zone, if I'm not mistaken, after looking into this thing, each zone can have 4 sensors hooked up to it, which means that you can hook a total of 16 sensors up to this one home-based unit here, and each sensor can be set to its own individual ringtone, so that when one of them goes off, you'll actually know which one is which, and you won't be guessing as to which sensor you have out is being had something go in front of it, let's say. Now, along with that, we see that there's a little box here. Okay, this is going to be the power system. Now, this power system, I'm guessing, yeah, right here, there's a 12-volt DC power system unit that hooks into it. This is an AC converter system where you can plug it into 110 to make that work. We'll be doing that here shortly, trying to get it hooked up and seeing if we can actually make it work. Now we're going to look at the actual sensor. Here we have the sensor. Now this sensor, as you can see, has a flat plate on the back side of it. This sensor actually bolts to a tree or a post. You can screw it to either one of them. And it has the actual eye itself. Now after looking at it here, I see that there's a very narrow field of vision on it here, and I'm not sure what the field of vision is. I'm sure it's not over about 10 degrees. It's probably, looking at it, it probably looks like less than 10 degrees. But I'm also noticing that I see some edges on it. Okay, that's what I thought. The lens actually comes off to give you a lot wider field of vision if that's what you desire. I think, you know, just looking at it, I'd probably say it's, I don't know, 20 to 40 degree, angle range coming out. I haven't actually looked in the book yet, but I've actually installed several alarm systems in my life being in the construction business. So I'm kind of not ignorant about them, but that's a Jim Dandy little thing, and then it actually moves in all kind of different angles. You can, it's got a swivel point here on the back of it in here that it can actually move around. I like the color of it because it's a little bit camouflaged. I noticed it comes with its own screwdriver in a case here to install the batteries, I see. And it also comes with a little anchoring kit that comes with it. Should you need to be able to anchor it to something, there's some screws and that there. We'll probably be using something different than that because we're going to be hooking ours to a tree. And along with this, you'll notice there's a little hood system here. Now my guess is that's to keep the light out of this. And if I can figure out here, give me just a minute to figure out how this hood actually snaps on this. I see there's a retainer there and there's a retainer there. I'm always cautious in the beginning. I don't want to break anything. There we go. You got a little hood on it. What that does is that keeps the rain, keeps the sun from shining into it. Now, I might want to add, when you set one of these up, do be aware of the direction of the sun. You don't want this thing looking like that directly into the sun because you're not going to see anything. It may actually trigger it falsely, and I don't know that for a fact, but it's possible. You want to make sure this thing stays shaded, and it's weather tight, my understanding about them, so you don't have to worry about moisture. A lot of people's probably going to ask several questions. One's going to be, how long is the battery life on this thing? Now my understanding from talking to Guardline is that a normal set of batteries will probably, no more than they get used, last up to a year. Now, if this is like a lot of the other ones I've been familiar with through my years in construction, if you're in a climate that has sub-freezing temperatures, you're probably not going to want to use the regular batteries. You're probably going to want to switch over to a lithium battery in this particular sensor here. I think it would probably do a better job. I don't know. Guardline might have a different opinion about that, but I think that I'm probably going to be pretty accurate when it comes to that. Let's just show you how this thing comes apart here, and put some batteries in it. And we're going to take the screwdriver. It comes in a nice little carrying Ziploc case there, so that you can keep it without losing it. And that's to me, that's pretty thoughtful of a company to go ahead and send the right screwdriver. Let's say that the right screwdriver for this job. Now, the only way I know that there's batteries, and there has to be batteries in this part right here. So let's look. We're going to do that screw. Turn that over. Drop all these screws out so I don't lose them. Here, there's 4 of them in there. And yes, on the back side of it here, you will see it has a location for 1, 2, 3, 4 AA batteries. So we're going to go ahead and install the AA batteries in it and move on with the actual setting up this, syncing this with the home-based system that's with it here. You see that red light on it there? You watch that red light, it'll go off in just a minute. That blinking red light tells us that this unit is beginning to work. Your home-based unit here, if you don't have electricity available, like you're off-grid or something like that, you can actually pop this back off of it, and it has a place here for 4 AAA batteries on it. Now, we're not off-grid. And the good thing about this is if the power goes out and you have these batteries in here, then this thing continues to work, and it doesn't, you don't have any surprises with people coming down the driveway or something just simply because the power is off. Now there also is a a place here in the back. You can put, it says 12 volts out. You hook up an array of different systems in here in this thing. Now that's pretty neat. It has a lot of different modes. It has delay times and all that in there. There's a little diagram here that shows you each and every one of those things that goes on in there. But we're going to be, that's not something that we're going to be doing. There is I don't know how well you can see it or not, but there's a little panel system in here. You got little switches you can turn on to do a lot of different things. You can sync this thing in with your home alarm system. You could put like a big horn system on so that it would notify with a big loud horn. There's lots of different options with this. That's what makes Guardline really a nice product to install in your homestead. And there's all kinds, like I mentioned, there's 12 volt systems that can hook up in here, and the battery backup, as we mentioned to begin with. But we're on grid, so we're going to be using the electrical connection that come with it there from 110 down to DC. We're not going to really worry about the batteries on ours at this time. We're just going to be hooking this thing up. I'm not going to worry about the actual second sensor right now because it's going to go into an undisclosed location. But what's in this box right here is exactly identical to this one here. Today we're going to be focusing on the driveway alarm system. This one will go in an undisclosed location. So what we're going to do now, I'm gonna get the power hooked up to this, and I'm gonna show you how you sync this with your sensors. We've got the electrical hooked up. I just switched it on right here. There's a volume control. We have it turned all the way up, and on the side of it here, it has a pause, reset, melody, battery channel, and all that for different ringtones that you're interested in. Then it has a Learn Next button. Now if you push that button down and you hold it, what that does, that makes number one here. Now to sync this with this, all we have to do is wave our hand in front of it. Now since we've waved our hand in front of it, it's now synced. This one is synced to this. Now what I would recommend doing is take an indelible marker and somewhere on this marking number one so that you never forget that this ringtone that we're going to choose to go with this one is number one. You see that noise? Well, it has a few seconds before it actually comes back on again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the mode here. See me move my hand over it? Now that's the noise. Now you can go on the side here and you can punch when you punch this second one, what happens is it goes to number 2, push it again, then it goes to number 3, and each time it goes to one of these, you can set up as many as 4 sensors to each one of them, and while it's on that one, you can change the ringtones for those different ones. Now we can choose, this thing has a method of choosing the different ringtones that you decide, and we've chosen the one that we're listening to here. Some of them, I will admit, can be extremely annoying, so you want to be able to choose a ringtone that is not really annoying to you, because you don't want one that sits and makes all kind of horrifying noises going on in your house. You want something that you can be comfortable with. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back through the mode again, and then we're back to square one. And if we move our hand over it, that's the song, that's the noise that we're going to be hearing here. So guys, what's next? We're going to take this right here, and we're going to take it up to the road, and we're going to install it next to our driveway, and we're going to show you how we're going to be installing it, and then we're going to do a test to see if it actually picks up inside the house. Now it is supposed to pick up inside the house. One thing I want to add about this particular sensor here, this thing has a nighttime mode that can be set on it. Like if you only want it to work at night, According to Guardline, that can be done. It can be there's a setting on here that says that can be done. And if there's any questions, Guardline has a phone number that can be called. And what I'll do is I will probably put that number down in the description when I locate it. There's a website. It's www.guardlinesecurity.com is their website. They have someone there, I'm sure, who can help you with any questions that you have on this particular thing. And it comes with a nice user manual. Guys, we're going to go ahead and take this thing up the road and show you how we're installing it, and then we're going to do the test on it. Okay guys, we're up here at the road next to our driveway here. The entrance to our driveway is right here. We don't want to put it out on the main road. We want to put it on the inside of our property so that should someone come in the gate, it notifies us once they're in the gate. Now we're not going to point it directly at the gate. So we have the sensor sitting here. And we don't want it to where it picks up every little critter that comes along. So I'm going to put this thing up about waist high so that it actually picks up cars when they come in, or if someone's walking, it'll pick them up and kind of give us a heads up on it there. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this thing going here. I want to install it about waist high. I might also add, guys, if you're going to use a drill motor like this, be a little extra careful, because this plastic, if you tighten it down too tight, it will break. Okay, there it is, guys. We have it mounted. It's about waist high. And it can swivel in several up, down, different locations. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this little hood that come on it here. This will help to keep the the light out of it. And we're going to use the narrow field of vision because we don't really have any reason to want to go anything real wide here, because we're just pointing right straight across the driveway here. What we're going to do now is we're going to wave our hand across it, and we're going to see if it actually picks up at the house. So here we go. Alright guys, as you can see, the Guardline product has worked. It has notified us when someone comes down the driveway here coming into our home. And I highly recommend this product if you're a homesteader, because not only this, if one of our cows get out and gets loose and happens to come through the driveway here during the night or something, it'll notify us if there's a cow out or anything like that, or if there's an intruder, or if someone happens to just come down the driveway. Suppose there's an emergency and you call the ambulance and you don't know exactly when they're headed down the driveway and you're having to be there with a loved one. At least when the ambulance comes through the driveway, you would be notified in the house that they're here and help to probably relieve some anxieties or something. When someone's in the house maybe having some kind of health issues or something. So this thing has an enormous amount of benefits to it. So I highly recommend the Guardline. There's going to be a link in the description down below to this product. Some people's going to say it's a little bit pricey, but guys, let me tell you something. This thing, to me, is worth its weight in gold, because not only do we have this one, we have the ability to hook up 15 more. And we have another one we talked about in the beginning of the videos in an undisclosed location. Just in case someone sees this video and knows this one's here, we do have another one in another location. We're not going to tell where it's at. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Guardline wireless home security system. Got a range up to 1/4 mile. It's very beneficial for those of you who live way off the road. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.